Hey guys, I'm doing another Am I the A-hole video, so stick around if you're interested. Am I the a-hole for quitting my chore of cooking 2 nights a week because my little sister keeps ruining it, and my parents expect me to start over every time? This comes from Luca. I'm 16 male, the oldest of 4. I have 2 brothers, 13 male and 11 male, and my little sister, 8 female. My 11-year-old brother has ASD. He goes to therapies twice a week until late, and my parents always struggle to cook those nights. We used to do takeouts, then last year my parents asked if I could cook 2 nights a week, and they offered to remove one of my chores in place of it. I was like, yeah, because at the time I really didn't mind. A few months ago, my little sister started acting out and being difficult with a lot of stuff. She wants to stay up late and throw tantrums over not getting new toys or whatever she wants. The other thing is she hates not getting to choose what we have for dinner, and she started to knock some stuff onto the floor while I'm cooking or prepping stuff. Or she'll spit in it a bunch to make me throw it out. Or she'll dump ketchup or mayo in. And it's always when I have stuff sort of close to being done or when I've been making dinner for a while already. I stopped her a few times, but she'll try over and over again until she can win. Or she'll start spitting and aiming for dinner. My parents never say anything to her and expect me to start over when she messes with it. They got mad at me a couple of times when I refused to start over when I was trying to take up dinner and my sister spoiled it. My sister doesn't listen to me either. She'll scream at me that I can't stop her, and it's so frustrating. I spoke to my parents so many times and they told me to keep calm and redo when I need to. But I reached a point where I couldn't do it anymore because I wanted to kick her out of the house. She was acting like that, and I know I can't. She's only 8, but man, is it frustrating, and she's so bratty about it. So I quit cooking twice a week, and I started doing my old chore instead again. My parents told me I don't get to just quit, and they're fighting with me because they think cooking is more important, and I'm quitting too easy. They said we all need to eat, and I was doing something really good for our family, and I'm old enough to realize the impact. Am I the a-hole? No, I understand they're struggling with your brother, but they are not disciplining or parenting your sister. You are definitely not the a-hole. They need to be better parents. If you're liking the video so far, think about giving it a thumbs up or leaving a comment. Thanks. Am I the a-hole for telling a lady at the park that I was going to get physical with her and having her arrested when she called the cops? This is from Throwaway Yikes 45. My best friend is a woman I have known since middle school. We've been friends for 40 years. Literally. She and her husband had a child very late in life. Like she was 42. Kid is great, and I was the 4th person to ever hold him, after his parents and grandmother. I've been in his life since hours after he was born. I am a very large child. I work in a fly-in, fly-out job, and I make a great living. My kids are grown up and on their own. My wife loves having the kid around and treats him like a grandchild. I like having him around and treat him like a sibling. We play Lego and Nintendo. I have had to relearn everything I forgot about Minecraft. I am also the go-to babysitter when I am on my off weeks. It works out because I have nothing better to do when I'm home. The problem is I am a 6-foot, 300-pound Hispanic man that looks exactly like what you would expect an oil field worker to look like. Marcus, not his real name, is an 8-year-old kid with long red hair and green eyes. He is so white that he looks like they raised an albino in a closet. I had him at the park by my house this weekend while his mum and dad had some downtime. He was having fun, and when it was time to go, he was a little jerk and wouldn't come. So I chased him down and threw him over my shoulder while he struggled and giggled. That's when the lady got in my face. She told me to put him down. I didn't want any problems, so I did. She said she had already called the cops and tried to take him away. She grabbed his arm. Hard. He was calling out to me, so I told her to let him go or we would be having a physical confrontation. All of a sudden, she wasn't so anxious to be a hero. Marcus hid behind me and waited for the cops. She had her phone out and was recording me. When the cops showed up, they separated the 3 of us to talk to. I had already called my wife. She was livid. She is a tiny Welsh woman that doesn't take crap from anyone. The cops had already figured everything out when my wife showed up. They were still trying to get a hold of Marcus's mum and dad. They were away for the weekend. Anyway, my wife pulls out her phone for the cops and shows them an album that she has of me and Marcus for the last 9 years. Then she points to the bruise on Marcus's arm where the woman grabbed him. The cops said the lady was just trying to help. I asked them if I had given him the bruise and they showed up, if I would also get a pass. They ended up arresting the woman, handcuffs and everything. No clue what happened after that. Now I'm wondering if I could have handled it better. Am I the a-hole for what happened? How could I have done better? Okay, you're definitely not the a-hole at all. She's not terrible either. I understand you guys are different races. You're obviously a very large man. I think she was thinking probably better safe than sorry, but she definitely could have handled that better. But all around, it's just a pretty shitty situation. I'm glad that you're okay and the kid's okay though. Am I the a-hole for despising my mentally handicapped sister? This comes from Renegade's Rule 33. The title makes me sound horrible, but hear me out. My sister is severely autistic. She requires attention almost 24/7 and cannot be left alone. She is non-verbal and cannot take care of herself at all. Despite the fact that she is only 12, she is extremely destructive and violent and destroys anything she gets her hands on. I hate her. That should be wrong to say, but it doesn't feel like it. I was only 6 years old when she was born, and since then, I've never solely had my parents' attention. Ever since I can remember, the world has revolved around her. I was moved out of my room into the basement at 7 because she needed to be in the room next to my parents. All of my toys as a child were destroyed by her, and my parents simply ignored me when I complained. Even when I was 14, she destroyed a Mac my school gave me, and I was in the wrong. Along with this, I am expected to take care of her and drop everything I do for her. I can never make plans with friends because my parents expect me to be there if I needed to take care of her. Even when I do, somehow to get time for myself, I am required to leave if they need me. If I do not, then I am punished. A recent example of this is when I went to see the new Spider-Man movie and was grounded because I turned off my phone in the theatre. It seems as if I am nothing more than a slave to them, and anything involving her simply overshadows me. This last week, I was chosen to give a speech at a school event. I was so excited and my parents promised to be there, but they never showed and claimed it was because of my sister. Anytime anything like this happens for me, they are too busy with her. I've held this in for so long and it finally spilled out today. While talking about colleges with my father, he joked that I should get a degree that pays well, so when they're gone, I can take care of my sister. I don't know why, but this caused me to break down. I cried and screamed about how it's always about her. I'm nothing more than a caretaker to them, and they always make it about her and how I'm expected to be her slave for the rest of my life. I've locked myself in my room since then, and my parents have not come to check on me. Am I the a-hole here? Edit. Wow, thank you for all the love and support you guys have given me. I never expected this post to reach the popularity it did. Thank you all. After thinking about this for the past 3 hours, you guys are right that I don't despise my sister. It's not her fault that she was born the way she is. My parents came to talk to me after a while about my breakdown, but I was unable to bring myself to talk to them and only cried and asked them to leave. They have made arrangements with my grandfather for me to stay with him for the time being, and I am getting ready to go to his house. My parents want to talk to me, but we have decided it's best that I leave for now to have some space and time to collect myself. We'll be sitting down and talking later this week about this issue. Thank you all again for the love and support throughout this. I'll send an update. There is an update. I'm back like I said I would be. Well, since the day I made the post, I've been staying with my grandfather. This week's been honestly a huge change to me, for the better and for worse, but I'll try to run it down. I started telling my grandpa the story of why I broke down the way I did, and to be honest, he seemed horrified. No one in my family knew my parents were using me as essentially a free care service for my sister. My grandpa told me some things that I don't feel comfortable repeating here, but in essence, my sister is supposed to be taken care from a professional, and that my parents were ignoring that. Along with this, I was not supposed to be caring for her at all with her mental state, as apparently she's a danger to herself and others. With everything else I told him, along with stuff like the movie incident, he was really mad and told me not to contact my parents without him there. He pretty much told me that he would be meeting with my parents beforehand and that he was going to be there when I sat down with them. It didn't end here either. The rest of the week consisted of the other families checking in on me and telling me things that my parents hid from me. This included the fact that my parents had been taking money from family to fund a caretaker that doesn't exist. Suffice to say, this week has been rough. But the upside is that even through all this, my extended family has given me more love than I've felt in a while. My grandfather spent his last week making up for the time I'd lost, encouraging me to spend time with friends and do things I want to do. My aunts and uncles have also been helping me through the week. Well, Saturday night and I sit down with my parents to talk. It went badly, to say the least. They came clean to me about everything. They told me things I will not repeat here, but they did not apologize. My parents still claim that I somehow owed my sister my time. My father even saying, "You were put here to be her caretaker." I won't lie and say I was composed. After everything I learned, I confronted them on the fact that my sister needed a caretaker, the money my dad was taking from her sister, and a few other things. They denied it or made excuses. In the end, we ended off in a worse place than before. Today will be my last time talking to them for a while. After talking with my grandfather and uncle last night, I'm not going back. Later today, I'm going there to pick up my stuff and moving in with my grandfather. When I graduate high school, I'm planning on leaving the state to go to school. My aunt has told me the money she was sending my dad will be instead coming to me from now on. My parents have called me twice since Saturday. Neither of them were to apologize and only asked me when I was coming home. I won't be going back to them. Right now, I still feel pretty uneasy about everything, but I feel like that will pass. The rest of my family is showing their support to me, and honestly, it feels great. But in the end, I lost my parents. Over all this, I've learned something that I wish I saw earlier. I don't hate my sister. In fact, I love her with all my heart. I should never have projected my hate onto her. That was wrong, and someday I hope to make up for it. But for now, I need to leave. So here's my update. We just got back from moving my things out of my parents' house. Everything I wanted to take, my grandpa and uncle helped move, and it's at my grandpa's house now. I have my birth certificate, social security card, and every other document and record I could think of. My parents were quiet the whole time I was there. Shortly after I arrived, my dad left with my sister, and my mum only hovered over us slightly as we moved. It took a while, but as we left, she broke down and told me she loved me and would miss me. I hugged her and said goodbye, and that was it. Even now, I sit here and think if she really meant it. After this whole week of her not saying anything, she waited till the end. I hope she meant it. Right now, though, I think I just need to look ahead. Maybe one day me and my parents can reconnect. I hope so. Thank you for all the advice and love. It's been amazing, and I'm glad that through this experience, I at least got some positive out of this mess. Will I come back? I don't know. If something happens and you guys still want an update, I'll maybe come around again. But for now, I'm going to move on. And for those who shared their stories with me, thank you. I hope to see you on the other side. See you, Space Cowboys. That was the end. I could not find another update. I'm really glad she came to the realization that it wasn't her sister that she hates, and her parents were the ones putting her into that situation. For her sake, I hope they change, but I doubt that will happen. And this is the end of the video. If you stay for this long, think about giving a thumbs up or leaving a comment. Thanks for listening. Bye bye.